Well, hi, good morning. Thanks so much for coming and joining me here in my shop on the last day of September 30th. And what am I going to do today? So today, doggone it, I am going to align this radio. And I'm going to be successful this time. It's going to work in stereo. That's what I'm telling myself. Anyway, so if you've been watching the series on this, you know this has been a real slugfest to get to this point. And the last crazy thing was discovering that the equipment I'm connecting to the antenna terminal is somehow affecting the operation of the radio in a way I wouldn't imagine it would, but it seems to. So to avoid the problem of upsetting the radio by connecting test equipment, I've connected to the radio a regular 300 ohm folded dipole antenna, which should be quite similar to what this radio is normally connected to when it's back in its cabinet. Then to feed a signal in, I'm just going to loosely couple my signal generator. There's the output leads, just laying on the antenna. That is the plan. Okay, so I've also had my equipment on for quite a while here before I started. Everything's kind of warmed up, I'm pretty sure, and ready to go. I've got a marker generator going here at close to 10.7 megahertz. And the last time I turned this radio on, all I got was a flat line on my scope there. I'm hoping that's not the case here. Come up a little bit closer here. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to hope that I see a nice wave shape here. Let's just make sure things are. This is set to sweep. Tuned into a million. I don't know what I'm tuned into 100 million. Don't know what the radio's tuned to right now. So here we go. Volume down. Power on. Heard the speaker. Turn it up. Okay, so oh, thank God, there's something on the scope there. Oh. I think my last video, I don't even know if it's on video. When I turned on all my equipment last time, I got no shape here at all, and I think the reason was I never turned the radio on. I think that's what happened there. So let's tune the radio. I'm going to be tuning it by turning this wheel here. There we are. Fantastic. Okay, we'll turn down the volume. I'm going to increase the sweep width a little bit. There we go. Now, first question. What happened to my camera up here? My camera is sitting over here. Okay, I should give you a view of the oscilloscope. Might be just a little bit out of focus at the moment, but there we are. Fantastic. Now we just pay attention to one of these two humps. We'll just pick this one. We'll pay attention to this one here. And first thing I want to find out is am I overdriving the receiver? So I'm going to reduce the signal going into the receiver by just moving the signal generator lead farther away from the antenna here. Makes almost no difference. That's a little interesting. Okay, that's funny. I'm waving that all over the place and it's hardly making a difference on the radio. Let me just... So this is turning up the signal generator. I'm looking at the shape and looking for dramatic changes in it. So I can see something is not uniformly moving here. It's changing shape. So we're going to go to the lowest setting I can get to. That's it. Now, right off the bat, that's not a bad looking shape there. Fairly flat on the top. But what we don't know is it anywhere near 10.7. So to figure that out, I want to inject a 10.7 megahertz signal right into the IF. Okay, I'm attaching a little clip here. Didn't see a thing happen there. Excellent. Now I'm going to bring the leads of the marker generator up close to this Okay, you can see something happen there. Okay, so you have a loose coupling. Now, we should see something already. We should be seeing something in the middle here. If this is tuned to 10.7, we should see it. We don't see it. Okay, so I'm going to vary the marker generator frequency. Oh, I do see it. It's right here, right in front of my finger there. Now it's center. Now it's over to the right. Let's put it right in the center. So you may not be able to see this squiggle. What I tell you, there's a little tiny squiggle right in the middle. And the frequency of that is 10.645, 50 kilohertz off. Okay, so I'm going to set the signal generator to 10.7. Now, the higher frequencies are this away. This is backwards, just because of the way things are. Okay, so that's 10.7. I'm going to jack up the signal strength here. It's right there. It's not far from the center. Not far off. See, I'm varying the output of the marker generator, and it causes this line to go up and down, which I don't fully understand, but excellent. So the objective now is to get this as big as possible, flat on the top. How wide is it? Let's just measure this right now while I can. Okay, so there's one corner. That's 10.5. That's 10.6. Yeah, I'm going to take a moment. I'm just going to refocus this camera here because I think it should be visible if I do that. Okay, so it was 10.5 at the one bend here. Now you can kind of see the mark right there. That's 10.6. That's 10.7. Tricky to see, but it's right here now. 10.8. So it's as if there's too much over here. Maybe if I pull this in, it'll come up a bit. Because otherwise, it's not too bad. This is really not too bad. I don't know about the height of it. Okay, so we're going to start with the second IF. And we're going to go into one slug. Now the objective is to keep this in the middle. I like how it flattened out there. There's one slug, here's the other slug. Hard to say why the whole thing is going up and down now. That's as far as I'm going to get with that. Now we'll try the other transformer here. Oh, now that's just kind of what I want to do. I want to pull this side in. Get that in the middle. That's the upper slug. Now the lower slug on the first transformer. Okay, so I have a cat up here with me now. Doesn't that look nice? Okay, I got kind of the right shape. Let's just measure this frequency. Watch out, cat. So that is 10.6 right on the knee there. I think that's pretty good. Over to 10.8. That's 10.8, pretty much right on the knee there. I got the shape. Do I have the strength? What just happened? I didn't do a thing. What'd you do? Did you do something, Shadow? What happened there? She's sitting on the output of the signal generator here. Did she do something here? She is helping out. She's checking out the numbers. Yeah, she sat down over here and probably grounded these accidentally. Okay, let's go back to looking closely at the oscilloscope because it looks different now. It's kind of lost its flat top here. That's just from moving these leads around. So you can hear it in the sound. Let me turn it up just a wee bit. You can see the top of this curve flattening, and you can hear it. I'm getting assisted by my cat, who's now playing with the output. Don't chew on that. You won't be allowed up here. You start chewing on things. She thinks I'm playing a game with her here. Here's what's happening here. I'm doing this. Right in front of her. Yes. No, don't stick that in your mouth. That's not a good idea up here. No sticking of the things in your mouth. Maybe I'm done here on the alignment already. Stick those there. Put this back on 10.7. So this cat's a major hunter. We're having trouble letting her go outside. Don't. And the reason she's in here is because I don't want to let her outside because she's hunting too much. And she's too successful at hunting around our neighborhood. Come on. You're just too much trouble here. Too much trouble. Everything else is working. The last thing I need is a cat to muck all this up now. Let's change the lights in here. Okay, so that seems to be kind of okay as far as far as I can tell right now. What we should do is what should we do? Excuse me. Well, let's have another transformer here to adjust. This is the transformer and the tuner. Let's go at it for a little bit. All these things should be close if okay, that's one slug. I'll get to the lower slug. It's not going up any higher at all. Now the last thing I should try is the antenna adjustment. Now I'm in the middle of the band and the antenna adjustments are done capacitor at the high end and the inductor at the low end. So I've got it backwards here. Capacitor at the high end. So that's challenging for me here to get a signal generator signal at the high end and somehow have this kind of display to look at. So we're going to fiddle with it right now as it stands. Not the wisest thing to do, but that's never stopped me before. So this would be CA. Put the diagram here. You do not want to go into the wrong thing. Okay, so I'm looking at the diagram, clicking the wrong thing on my computer. There's the tuner. So CA, this is this way. CA bottom corner, just like I remember it. Bottom corner. So basically I'm tuning the antenna circuit. Now I have, oh no, it requires a screwdriver, that's right. Requires a screwdriver. Okay, I'm going to put the screwdriver in, watching what's happening. Screwdriver doesn't do anything bad. Okay, I'm trying to get in the screw here. There. Okay, now, here we go. Yeah, this is, I'm going to guess that's really quite fine there. I don't think I'm going to gain anything. And the other adjustment is to be done at the other end of the band, and that's LA. Okay, diagram. I'm looking at that diagram again. Spot where LA is. LA is right above. Right above. Okay. You know I'm looking at it because I didn't flip the cameras back. Here we go. Okay, it's the first time I've adjusted this. You know, it's happy where it is. I don't really expect these adjustments to require fixing. What I'm doing there is, if they appear to be way off, it's probably an indication of a fault inside the tuner. So now we have CR, and I think there's an LR. CR, I don't know what the R means, but it's the other tune stage ahead of the CR. Yeah, without retuning the radio, I'm going to go into CR. Oh, that's right. It's a screw. You know, it's a trimmer capacitor. Okay, I'm in. Here we go. Oh boy, it does move it around, doesn't it? Looks like it must have maybe affecting the local oscillator in there. I don't think so. Anyway, no gain, so there's nothing here. I'm not going to get anywhere here. There's a C oscillator, which I'm leaving alone. Then there's an L oscillator, I believe. What does that say? It says something here. Right up here. Oscillator COL. See, I can't read it. Oscillator something. I'm leaving the oscillator alone. Reason is I don't know exactly where the pointer should be anyway. So it looks to me like the IF and the tuner are adjusted. So the question is, will this thing trip into stereo with a decent signal? So I have to disconnect this little circuit here to do the next stage of the alignment. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, a bit of a schmozzle on the screen there, but it looks like two S-curves to me with a lot of RF in them. I've connected to the S-curve test point here. I've disconnected my little detector circuit. Still feeding in the RF here, which is maybe a problem. Let me take this off. That sure made a difference, didn't it? Put this on AC. No difference. Back to there. I can move this up the screen a little bit. Well, that's the S-curve. Why all the hash in there, I'm not sure. Let me move around my signal generator lead here. Not making a lot of difference at all. Offhand, probably, you know, this hash is probably, I'm going to guess, because I have an antenna connected to the radio, I think I even hear a little station in there. So what I want to do is I want to force the radio into stereo using my signal generator. So we don't really want to pay attention to what's on the scope at the moment. We really want to be looking at the stereo lights. Stereo lights under here. Okay, it's a fairly weak signal, I think. I'm going to take off of sweep. That's a mono signal. I just tip this up, you'll be able to see the scope still. That's pretty interesting now. And now we're going to flip to stereo. So stereo, but I don't have the pilot light on yet. The pilot is on. And the light, because I have very, very little 19 kilohertz coming over. Okay, this is the big test. Watching the light. Not bad. Okay, the reason I can say not bad is because I've only turned the level up here. This is about the lowest setting I've ever been able to get this to work with. And I do not have this unit directly connected, right? It's just loosely connected here. So this is a really good sign. I should stop right now. Stop now. Okay. Interesting what's on the oscilloscope too. I've seen this before. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, not really sure what to make of it. That's at the S-curve test point. Of course, I do not have the sweep on anymore. We're just sending over a tone. I got to this point before and was able to set the stereo up fairly well, and I had the receiver connected directly to my audio system, and it generated a hum. So I don't have it that way now. You're listening through microphones. So this should be coming out of the left channel. The stereo light's on. You should hear this from the left channel. It may be the right channel in your speakers, and it may not be easy to tell which channel. I'm just using a stereo microphone here. I have the speakers fairly well separated. Okay, so if you have headphones on, this might work better. I'm now going to flip it from the left channel to the right channel and back and forth. Okay, so to me, what I'm hearing is nothing changing really. Now let's check the balance control. Is this the balance control? Is that the balance control? This plate fell off. The glue gave out and the plate fell off. Balance. This is the balance control. Excuse me. Let me turn it up. This should be only the right channel. I hear both equally. Now, is there something I didn't flip here? How's that meter? Pretty much in the center. Everything's working out. Holy smokes. Okay, let me turn this down a little bit. Is it that the 19 kilohertz has turned on the light, but it isn't enough to operate the stereo yet? So let me crank it up here and see. I think that's exactly what it was. When I cranked that up a little higher, it seemed to me it flipped the stereo. So let me turn it up till it does that. Right in there. You can kind of hear it. Okay, so now I have a little more 19 kilohertz coming in. Now I'll do the left-right thing. Doesn't strike me that there's any left-right going on. But to double check, I'm going to plug in my own headphones here, right into the receiver. I get to listen. I have to turn off the speakers to do this. How do you do that? How do you turn off the speakers? Like this. Okay, you can't hear anything, but I can. Okay, that's the left channel. That's in the middle. So there's some stereo effect happening, but not what we want. Okay, so let's do what it says we're supposed to do here at this point. This is going really well. This is really going well. Woo! I'm excited. Okay, so first thing is to set the level of your signal generator, and I'm using it loosely coupled to an antenna. I believe the level's got to be good. I can't do much about it anyway. So this step is to knock out any 67.5 kilohertz signal that might be in there. There's a trap here to adjust. I'm skipping that. We're going right here. Test point 2. Adjust for maximum indication. Test point 2 requires a meter. Okay, let's get a meter on here. Major wire trip hazard in my shop. So many wires casting across the floor where my feet are. Okay, I'll just make this a little bit less intense. Looks like the frame rate's gone down on the camera a little bit. You can see this. I'll now take this meter. Test point 2 is hanging here on a clip lead right here. I'm going to put the meter onto it. Doesn't do anything to the radio. Okay. What do we got now? Nothing whatsoever. Nothing at all. Not a thing. Take this off of here. This is the marker generator, which I left running at a high level. I shouldn't have it, just in case. Nothing there at all. Make this as sensitive as we can. Let me just check the 0 on this. 0 is 0, and this is set to DC. Well, what? Okay, so here we are. First roadblock has shown up. Adjust for maximum indication. Audio VTVM to record sockets. That's for that very first stage, which you didn't do. Audio VTVM to test point 2. Adjust for maximum indication. So the stereo light's still on. Okay, let's adjust. Let's adjust for some indication. There is nothing indicating yet. I don't like that. And first we do these two. Last time I did this I made a mistake. Didn't matter though, inconsequential. There are times where I'm making errors in here, by the way, and I become aware that it's an error, and then right away I say to myself, it's inconsequential, and I just carry on, and I don't say anything. Because it doesn't matter that there's something amiss with what I've done in some cases. You can certainly hear it. Hear changes going on quite a bit. Nothing on this meter. Is the meter really working? Let me just touch a test voltage here. change the power supply filter. Sure. 21 volts. That's exactly right. Okay. Meter's working, unfortunately. You can even see it moving around when I do that. Okay, back on the test point. It's just nothing. Let me, I was using a clip lead. Let me bypass the clip lead and go straight onto the actual test point. Try that again. There's a tiny voltage there. Go back on the clip lead. Same voltage. Whoops. I think it's the same. How could it be any different? Okay. So that was one coil. The first coil. Second coil. Watching the meter again. This one's very smooth. Turns very smoothly. The meter is not responding at all. Turning it a long ways. Bad boy. Very bad boy. Turning it a long ways back. Feeling where the slug wants to go. There's quite a range on this one. Feels like there's quite a range. Okay, I'm going to stick the headphones in again here. Well, they are in. I'll put on my headphones. I'll leave the tone on the speakers, can I? Okay, supposedly this is one channel. Supposedly it's the right channel coming over. You know, I cannot leave the speakers on and do this. So now you're in silence while I do this. Okay, let's just do it quick. First slug. Nothing happening in the headphones. Bad sign. That's strange. What happened? Anyway, the stereo light has gone off. Stereo light is off. Put the speakers back on here. I wasn't watching the light while I was doing that. Okay. I'm going to be fiddling like this back and forth for quite a while, so I'm going to stop the video while I do that. It's better for me anyway. Let's see where I can get it to. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to have this come across on the video, so you can clearly tell the stereo effect as it comes and goes as I make the last adjustments. It's operating in stereo again. I just had to spend a moment twiddling the knobs. But the problem is, and this happened last time, when I hook this up to my audio system, it's going to introduce a buzzy hum. So let's just pretend it's not there and carry on, because you can hear each channel. And that's how I want to do it. Now, let's see, I've got my headphones plugged into an auxiliary amplifier so I can control the sound level to my headphones independent of what you're hearing. Got into trouble a few times from that. Not working out quite right. Okay, so I'll plug this in here. You won't hear this. Okay. Now when I go to, I'll show you what I'm doing. No secrets here, no secrets. These are going into here. As soon as the ground makes contact, you're going to hear a buzzy sound. Unfortunately. Okay, so up here a little bit, and then on the master. So I wish it wasn't so crummy, but that's the way it's got to be. You can still hear stereo. That's what we're interested in, just the stereo effect. Okay. Stereo light is on. I have a left channel, right channel knob there. I'm going to flip. So, oops, so that's clearly in one channel now, a little weak. But that sounds like it's in the center there. Okay, so I continue the adjustments. hard to say what's happening, isn't it? Other channel. Okay, so to me that's in 1 year now. I can feel it kind of going further to 1 year. So I'm going to put it, max it there. Balance issue? No, probably because we're coming out of these terminals here, volume control and other things. Oh, let me turn the speakers off here. I don't want those on. Volume control and that won't have any effect now. That's full volume, doesn't do anything. It's just kind of a standard level coming out of here. Okay, I'm going to reduce the 19 kilohertz. Okay, light is off, light is on, stereo kicking in. So I'm going to put it right on the edge. Tune this first transformer. Oh, that's definitely affecting it. Okay, going to reduce this right down until the light is barely on. Adjust for maximum light. Okay, now we come to this one, other coil. Not sure what to make of that. This will also turn the light on and off. Okay, let's go down. Okay, so this setting is makes the 19 kilohertz most. You can hear it kick into stereo right there. Okay, now I have one more to adjust, which is the TR206. TR206 is also, oh, L204. 204, 205, 206 maximum indication on the meter. Then 204 again. Adjust carefully for minimum indication on VTVM. I'm probably thinking about this. I read this. It's almost the same thing though. Attach a scope to test point 2. Okay, back to what we're doing here. So this is the transformer now. It's also supposed to be for the level, so I'm going to do the light thing. Let's see if I can get that on the camera here. I have too many cords going. It's a tangle up of wires. As soon as I start wearing the headphones, I start getting in trouble with wires here. So very hard to see the light. Very hard to see. Okay, let's douse this big light here. Still hard to see. You'll know it when it starts flipping on and off. I think that's the case. And headphones. Okay. Turning down the level till the light goes off. You could hear it move into the middle just before the light went off. Turn the level up, lights on, stereo kicking in. So going back down, light turning off. Now I don't know that the transformer I'm about to adjust can affect that light. Let's see. No. So this is adjusting a 38 kilohertz oscillator, so it'll lock in at 19. And I don't see that's doing anything here. Okay, let me turn this up a little bit so we're hearing stereo. Yeah, that caused it to shift into one ear, my right ear. Now we'll turn this, see what happens. Center, shift, whoops. Center. Shift. So my hearing, I'd say it's right in there. Okay, now we're supposed to carefully adjust 204 for minimum indication on the VTVM. Well, I've already got minimum indication. So what's happened on this meter in the meantime? It's kind of dipped down negative. Let me turn the level up and down here. I just don't see that that meter is doing anything for us here. Gotta wonder about that. Okay, stereo's happening. It's a little weak, isn't it, on the one side? I don't want to adjust this coil. I've adjusted it so it's. I think it's time to tune in a station. See what's happened. I am only semi-hopeful here. Let's tune in something. Fortunately, I'm going to keep listening. We're going to keep it on headphones here, so I'm going to keep listening to the buzz while I do this. Okay, so we want to push. We're going to tune the radio. Ooh, yeah, we're going to tune the radio. Once we tune the radio, we're kind of off the mark. Okay, so I'm going to take some tape here. Come on, where's my tape? Put some tape on the radio and mark it where the dial is right now. Whoa, too many wires. Too many wires in the shop here. I'm looking straight down on it, so no parallax. This is not going to help much. I can't imagine that's going to help that much, but there we go. We have a mark. We have the antenna connected. The antenna is just laying as you see it. Who knows if that's in a good position or not. Let's go see what we can find here. Maybe a terribly unfair thing because I don't know what the noise level is relative to the signal level. Maybe the noise level is super high. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to speakers. Okay, I'm going to pull off this stuff here. Speakers on.
We have to bring this litigation in this place.
Okay, we gotta watch for that stereo light. This is all about seeing that stereo light come on. Come on, come on. I'm only hearing that out of one speaker. There's the speaker imbalance is showing up again. Balance occurs with this. This is all the way one way. Balance is almost all the way that way. To get balance. Yikes. So that's another problem. That'd be an amplifier problem, I think. Come on, stereo. Sounds good otherwise. Don't know what that is. Something in my shop. That's my signal generator. It'll do it. Oh, what happened? It just suddenly got really good.
And the divine hand of God tore apart that veil back.
Why did it get so loud suddenly? Come on, stereo. A little quiet up here, hiss-wise. So I want to fool with this with one of the stations running, and I can't do it because of copyright problems. So I'm going to stop the video, and I'm going to mess around with all those adjustments, listening to a radio station. Danger, Jim, but I'm going to do that. I have my flag. I should be able to get back home from wherever I end up. Here we go. The stereo light is on, and this is a commercial station. I have the volume down so you can't hear it. Here it is. Stereo light's on. Set is operating in stereo. What did I do? I realized I kind of overlooked this transformer. Then just by ear adjustment with one slug to get the maximum volume coming out, bingo, the light came on. Wow, a lot of ducts have to be lined up in a row here. I wonder if that meter's going to start doing something over there. It appears to have started doing something. It's a little wee bit up. I just turned it to negative. Okay, just a little bit up. Let me check that. Let me just disconnect it here and see where the zero really is. Ah, that's where the zero is. Okay, let's just zero this thing properly. Okay, back on. There's just no voltage developing at test point 2 that I can pick up. Excuse me. Okay, what do we do now? Now, it turns out this light is the best instrument in the whole my whole shop. That light is the best instrument. I'm going to go through these a few more times, and I'm going to go back to using the signal generator. Oh, I'm going to do that. Well, I have to tune the radio absolutely perfectly. I don't think I'll do that. I'm pretty excited here, actually. You know what I should do? I should stop. I'm too excited. I will stop and calm myself down somehow. Okay, a couple minutes of thinking. I think I'll leave well enough alone and start dealing with the problem that is now in front of me, which is the terrible sound imbalance. Now let me verify that. So with the volume turned down, I'm going to set the balance control in the middle. Just like this is the middle. Now the volume and see what's happening.
To save a parking space.
All over there. It's all on one side. So one of the first things I did in this receiver was change out one of these two capacitors up here. You can't see them, big capacitors that are sitting here. That's the replacement for one of them. This is the audio pass-through capacitor. The audio is on its way to the speaker. It's going through this capacitor. Well, if one is bad, the other one's probably bad too. So this guy's probably got to be bypassed or replaced rather with something like this. something like this. Now you want to use the very same capacitor. Do I have another one exactly like this? Fat chance on that, but I'm going to look. Because although I may be jumping to conclusions here, it's a pretty good guess that there's a test I can do. Because I don't think I heard the imbalance in the headphones. Let's just check that out. I don't think we heard the imbalance when I had the phonos. The record out in there. Let's see. Okay. Headphones on me. Volume. Speakers off. Dead center. Dead center. Dead center in the headphones. The headphone signal is taken off ahead of these capacitors and that. So voila. That really does suggest it's got to be this capacitor. Okay, power off before I do something stupid. I'm going to rummage for another capacitor that I can use there. Okay, here's my options here. I did find another 1000. These are, I'm replacing 1000 40 volt, 1000 microfarad 40 volt capacitors up here. This is a 1200 volt capacitor I put in, 1000 being the important number. This is also a 1000, 180 volt. Look at this big thing though. Kind of a waste in this situation. But I had these two, never been installed. Older 1500s at 40 volts. Two of them, they would match. I'm going to test these and see what they test as. I'm inclined then to remove this one and put these two in as matching replacements, but I need to test them first. Okay, testing the first one using this tester to do it. Battery's getting low. 1500 almost exactly. 15% loss. Not sure that's significant at all. 1500 is the main thing. Okay, let's take them off. Try the brother. Any different? Key thing is they test the same. That would be important. Ooh, 1900. 2.4%. 1900. 2.4%. $1,500, 15%. So the 15% on the other one is 2.4. 2.4 sounds like nothing to me. 15 sounds like a little bit. How different could it really be? Decision time. I should put one in and see what happens. Put the first one in and see. Maybe at that point I'll decide to leave everything. Put the one in with the I gotta think. Time to think. Time to think again. Think. Okay, so what I realized is I can use clip leads temporarily. Set is off. I'm gonna cut one terminal off of here. This might have a charge in it. So that isolates that capacitor. Now, right on the can of these capacitors, it says can is isolated. So that tells me that I can leave one connection on here and it should do nothing. So that's what I've done. So the one I've cut off is the half moon. Okay, a half moon. The half moon is the positive terminal. Okay, so I'm going to go on here. That, and then I just got to make a ground connection from there. I'll go right on this terminal. It's not a ground connection. Okay, right on the terminal. Now, with any luck, the stereo will operate in balance again. The balance problem is only in the speakers. Very good. Okay, so volume is down, balance is set in the middle, power on, volume up. Still just the one channel, still just the left. How come? How come? Bad clip lead. Could be a bad clip lead. Could be what? It's definitely this heavier clip lead's quite reliable. This lighter one here. Nothing like a little bit of rush in the morning. Okay. The other capacitor. Try the other capacitor. Turn this head off. And switch over. Oh, that made me jump. Now that came out of the correct speaker. Power on. Volume up. Okay, let me fiddle with the balance here. I'm turning it all the way one way. Now I'm going to turn it all the way the other way. It's close. It's very close now. Okay, I'm going to stop the video because I'm going to play some copyright music here while I listen to this. Okay, I have to make sure now that it's not the speakers themselves that are out of balance here. They have different wires going to them. That could be enough. So to do that, I need to switch them from channel to channel. Or, better yet, so if you can see I have one speaker wire coming out of here, the other is clipped on the other side of this panel. I clipped it there early, it's been there the whole time. Just so I don't jam them in the connector here. Why don't I just parallel the two speakers briefly, and if they operate at the same level, I'll get sound in the middle. It won't matter if one channel is disconnected for a brief while. But I will. Oh, there's that cat calling for me there. I will turn off the stereo, and then all I got to do is very simple. Just move this guy from here over to here. That means they're both running on the same one channel. Who's here? Who's scratching at the door? It's his Peanut. I'll be a few minutes, okay? Just a few minutes. Yeah, I gotta go outside. Okay, so all I gotta do is apply the power, turn the volume up, get my head right in the middle here.
Didn't turn out to be that, it just turned to be where...
Son of a gun if it isn't still coming out of the one side. My speakers themselves are out of balance. Well, son of a gun, did I do this capacitor thing for no good reason? Okay, Peanut, I'm coming. Maybe I did. Okay, so what I'm trying to do now is convince myself that the speakers have a balance problem, or they don't. So I have an audio signal coming out of here, which you can hear. And then what I've done is I've connected that output to both speakers. Now, they could be out of phase. That shouldn't make one sound louder than the other. Now you're listening to it in stereo. a stereo microphone hanging right here. It's aimed kind of appropriately for the speakers, one of which is up here, and the other one's over yonder, up there, way up there. Okay, so have a look at my audio software here, because it has a nice audio meter on it, right here. I can put this right on the screen. I need to use a camera. Yeah, I just normally I do everything I can to keep this off the screen. Okay, but there we are. Now you can see my actual audio, what I'm paying attention to. This really shows what's being recorded. So let me turn the volume up here a little bit. Oh, a little distortion there. So it's reporting left side louder than the right on the meter. Look right in here, right on this thing. Okay, I can just rotate the, I'm going to rotate the microphone here. Now it's the other way. Okay. Because I'm also questioning my own hearing, and not that my ears are out of balance, I'm pretty sure they aren't. What I'm concerned about is the room effects are misleading. As I move around my little shop here, you know, the sound varies, of course, because of the various null points and things like that. You know, destructive interference and all that stuff. But the whole time, the speaker up here is louder. Fooled by my own speakers. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? What am I going to do now? I want to do something here. Headphones aren't going to help. Oh man. I'm down to dragging my own personal speakers in here. Arr. Okay, as awkward and crazy as this is, I've got those big honking speakers in here. Here, have a listen. Very nice. Really sounds good. Question is, are they balanced? So a little hard to tell actually when you're just this far apart. Stuck my head in between there. Boy, they really do sound balanced. And by the way, what I've done here is I've re-established the bad capacitor. Ooh, maybe it's not bad. So this guy's doing nothing here. So basically one capacitor replaced and the other original one back in just using this clip lead. Yes, clip lead. Clip leads cause these kinds of problems too. But I tested those clip leads. I'm using good clip leads. So I think. Okay. And receiver is still receiving stereo, which is like a 2, 4. For me, it's a 6 thumbs up one. Wow. Let's check out the sound here. So what I want to do is wait for an advertisement to come on, and then we can turn it up and fool around a little bit. So we gotta wait. This guy needs to be turned loose apparently. Sound is really, really good. It's really good. Really happy with that. So these will be probably a pretty good step up from the speakers that are in that console. If you remember, they're in those round balls. Now I don't doubt the engineers who did that tried their best to make those sound as good as possible, and maybe some magic happened and they sound fantastic. But in my mind, pretty hard for a little box like that to compete with these huge guys. And just while we're waiting for an ad to come, I'll let you see what's in here. 3-way speakers with a bass reflex. Again, it's from Techniques. I'm going to guess these are well engineered. These are not well respected speakers on the internet, but phooey on the internet. As far as I'm concerned, these guys sound just great. Yeah. Okay, how about an ad? They flipped into the next song with no ad. Just when you want ads on the radio, what do you get? So I'm just going to wait. Just going to wait here. So what I did here while I'm waiting is I put headphones on and noticed, and I was suspicious already, there's no stereo, even though the stereo light was on. So then I adjusted the 38 kilohertz transformer, and bingo, I have stereo in the headphones here. It's very good, very good. Okay, but they're still playing music here.
Plus, we're giving away tons of cash and prizes throughout the night. This year, we're giving away 25 grand cash. A trip to see Aerosmith and Madrid, Spain, courtesy of Sessions in Aurelia.
All left channel.
Big Dog Rex zero-turn mower.
All left.
Canadian Equipment Outfitters. A $5,000
All right.
shopping spree from the Brick in Aurelia and Midland.
Balance is good.
And so much more.
Back in the middle.
There's only one way to get in, and that's to win the Rock 95 Birthday Bash.
All safety protocols in place.
What a journey, holy smokes. So now what's left on here, I'm pretty excited now, is a refinement, I hate to say this, a refinement of the alignment. Hey, I'm a poet. I don't know it. I never show it. Okay, I'm too excited, aren't I? I am too excited now. Wow, I'm at the end of a long, long, hard journey. So I'm going to do that a little on my own because it's very fiddly, very minor stuff going to happen. I'm going to rely on the signal generator. I'm going to weaken the signal from the signal generator and then adjust the receiver for strengthening it. That's my plan. I never did get this voltmeter to show anything on this test point 2. It just never happened. Who knows? And I'm back to using the original capacitor in here. So I'm just going to reconnect that capacitor. You know, it's as likely to operate forever as anything, I would think. Who knows? So, yeah. Too excited, though, to keep working here. I'm going to make a big mistake. Well, I'll make a small mistake. It would be a mistake to keep working. That's the mistake. Okay, so I just went through the entire alignment in just a couple minutes because I'm so familiar with it now. And what I did was I controlled the level of the 19 kilohertz pilot signal, brought it down to the point where the stereo light is weak, and then make adjustments to bring up the stereo light. That's the technique I used here at the end. And the last thing was separation. I had to throw on the headphones. Do that 38 kilohertz transformer to get separation. Was already there. I think the receiver is even more sensitive now than it was. Fantastic. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Okay, so that's one channel, the other channel. Okay, I don't want to listen to that. We'd like to hear it receive a station. Okay, I'm going to shut this off now. So that's out of the picture. Turn it up. Nice hiss. Okay, man. We're going to tune in a station here. Stereo.
The Fresh Hype Squad all season long.
Stereo.
Look for the Fresh Hype Squad.
And I said, I just want to make sure that you know and it's okay with you, and we'll.
This is a mono station here.
And he was just so happy about it. It was so nice. And he called me back another time, and
today in Canada is a new holiday. This not necessarily a holiday, but a new special day. I'm hoping I don't get their name wrong. Indigenous Day. Maybe I got it wrong. Today is a day where Canadians stop to ponder the horrible journey that the Indigenous people in Canada have been on, basically right up until really now. And we've gone through a whole reconciliation process, and for years now, for a few years now, and we're sort of coming out of it as a nation, facing up to some fairly recent, very horrible news about how children were dealt with in this country, Indigenous children, just terrible. And basically the process is forcing all of us to face up to what happened in the past 100 years ago, and right up until even when I was born. After I was born, there were still these horrible discriminatory practices, destructive, culturally destructive practices going on, authorized by the government of Canada. So literally, to drive the Indian out of the children. That's literally what the policy was for a good 100 years or so. Okay, anyway, I don't want to get into that. That's a Canadian thing. If you're not Canadian, you've probably got your own situations of some sort like that. There's lots of indigenous people in the world who the situation in the countries that they now find themselves in need to be resolved in a positive way. I mean, this is not just here in Canada. It's all over the place. So anyway, there we go. Hey, pretty excited. Receiver working, finally. All that's left now is that doggone tuning knob situation, which I have not got a plan in my head yet for exactly how to fix that, but fantastic. Great. I'm going to go enjoy my day. You too. See you on the next video.